Hello.
Today we're interviewing Miles about the Museum of Games, how it started, and his latest project. Hey, Mai.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Okay. So, what is the Museum of Games?
It's a podcast where I talk about games and how they're an art form.
And what does that mean? Like it's an art form.
Like, I think that games are, like, I guess the ultimate art form that, like, they're a mixture of every other art form. So, in order to judge them, you have to obviously judge them as if they were that original art form.
So, what do you look at?
Everything, story, the music, the presentation, even some technical stuff like UI and just how good it is, how, like, it feels.
What is your favorite game that you think is like art?
There's a lot of them. But the one that I've played recently, at least, is a Katana Zero. It's really good.
Is it what makes it art?
I mean, it's not. It's a very niche game, but it has. But I have like some cult following towards it. Where like it is just ooh, the music. The story's very confusing, but the music, the pacing, the gameplay, it is some up. It's really up there with like other games in its genre.
Okay, good. All right, so talk to me about what you did this week or last week and why it was so important to you.
Well, I built a new computer, and I've been needing an upgrade for let's see, 6 years. And I've been only using laptops. I've only been using laptops my entire life, so I just thought, hey, let's build one. And I didn't think it would be as hard as it was, but it was. And cable management, not the best, but it works. It runs. It.
So talk to me about this computer. What is it? Like if you open it up, like with a car, people look at the engine. Like talk to me about the engine.
It's very
What's this
powerful.
computer?
Not as powerful as my cousins, who is pretty crazy, but they said let's buy a bunch of expensive parts, and I tried to do that, but also like that actually work. I tried to do that, but I also tried to like not make it too hard on my parents. So I thought let's get a good graphics card, but also not get one that is $1,000. So
So if people were at home, what were some of the parts and stuff that you used in this?
every computer has the same thing. A case, a CPU, a graphics card, a power supply, RAM, storage, and I think that is it, and a motherboard, and that's it. Um, there's a lot. That's really it, and cooling, CPU cooling. Sorry, and I just did that. I just put them all in, and I did plugged all the wires in, and my dad helped me a lot, but that was it.
Okay, so what was the process and how did you know what to pick and what to do this? Because look, you can say motherboard and this and that, but in all honesty, there's a lot of details and information. And before your parents, me being one of them, was going to let you do this, we need a little bit more information. So, what was your process to go around all this?
So I proposed to my parents, and mom was like, "Oh, we got to come back with more," and I did. And she was immediately impressed and said, "Let's start doing this as a project." And we did a bunch of. I did a bunch of research. I watched a bunch of videos. I mean, we followed a video the entire time. Like now it's done. Like
But what did you present? Because I
I
think this
presented
would
a
be
PowerPoint,
helpful. And what was in it?
all the parts, the costs, the peripherals, maybe some extra things that we needed, and that was it. Like we did. I wanted to start one night, and then I forgot to order the power supply, so we went to a micro center to get one, and wow, was it fun.
What was the thing that surprised you the most about building this computer? Because I know it surprised me the most. I'm just curious what surprised you.
That it works.
It wasn't the anti-static thing that wasn't going to blow up the apartment.
No,
All right. Well, what was the most interesting, part of the project?
booting it up for the first time. Actually, no, no, downloading something for the first time. I downloaded Minecraft, right? And I'm like, ugh, I gotta wait for download times. I clicked the button. I counted 2 seconds and it was done. That is because of the Wi-Fi and the SSD. I we have 5G Wi-Fi, but I think this computer with its routers are really going to be able to push that Wi-Fi to its limits and just do things faster. and better.
And what
Honestly,
was the most, yeah, sorry, I'm sorry. What was the
honestly,
most stressful part? Yeah.
when it didn't work,
Tell us about that.
the BIOS was the monitor was too slow for the BIOS, so we had to just spam the F2 button, and then that was it. It worked. Installed Windows, and Windows is now on this thing, and we did it.
um, what would you think is the biggest lesson you learned about yourself in this?
Call an IT guy.
When? You didn't use anybody or in COVID?
Well, that's what I mean. Call an IT guy.
I mean, when you guys couldn't figure out what the BIOS meant?
Yes.
Good for you. And what was the most interesting thing about doing it with your dad?
Hmm. Most interesting thing for me was like, I don't really know. I did not think that my dad would be up to it because we've only built Legos as a child. But wow, he really killed it.
You
He
guys were
did
actually like,
he did the
you
hardest
guys,
part.
which was?
The front panel connectors. And now I look at this thing and I'm like, the thing's in and it works
Why is that the hardest part?
because they're tiny one connector um things that have to go onto pins that are also one pin. So you have to push it in, and try not to break it.
So he did like the most stressful
He did the most
installation
stressful
part.
part.
What was the most interesting part of the installation for you
How easy some parts were.
to
And
put
now
in?
I have to teach my dad on the fly about a PGA and LGA sockets.
What does that mean?
So Intel CPUs are LGA and AMD CPUs are PGA. PGA means that the pins are actually on the CPU, but an LGA means that the pins are on the motherboard.
You have done a really wonderful job in converting Dad and I to see video games as a real extension of your life and being fun. And I was just wondering, there are people who are going to see this podcast, hopefully, and they're going to, what advice would you give to parents of teens such as yourself to maybe see the other end of the spectrum? So what advice do you have for kids to tell their parents?
Well, something that I would give advice to them is that like definitely give them an experience. There are games out there. Like here's an idea. Um, Work up for some money. Get some money. Buy a game that you know is good and that somebody like them might enjoy, and then give them to them and have them play it. That actually happens every day when you buy a game. Like, oh, I bought this game and I'm gonna experience it for myself. But this time you're just giving the game to someone else. It's like you want to give them an experience. Like they're not games anymore. They're experiences.
It's like when we used to play Super Smash Bros. Every morning before school.
Most definitely. My mom is still bad, but at least we had fun.
I did have one. Okay, so that's one. What's the second thing?
Two is definitely show them people who play games. Also, go to college. It's a big one. What is it? The best, or at least one of the best, Super Smash Brothers Melee players. I think, if I'm correct, he majors in chemistry. Yeah, he does. He has a chemistry major. I
Yeah.
think one of them is a brain surgeon as well.
Whenever we meet someone and we're at a competition, I go, "Where'd you go to college? What are your majors? What do you do?" And
You
you
definitely
roll your
do
eyes.
that. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you telling us why video games are art and a little bit about your. Oh, wait, before I leave, what was your favorite website to buy your equipment from?
Uh, it's a good point. Newegg.
Oh, Newegg. Okay.
Newegg and Amazon.
But what was the site you used to do the picker, the
PC
product
part
picker?
picker.
Yeah.
PC part picker is definitely helpful.
Well, you taught
Tells
me
you
a
if
lot,
everything is
Miles.
compatible. I did.
Well, oh, well, you taught me a lot. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.